Hello, guys. Sorry about my small hiatus. So I'm gonna rap to you a little bit about something that I think everybody needs to be mindful of, including myself. I'm guilty. Last couple of days, I've been experiencing a little bit of burnout. Okay, and that usually comes when you really can't complete a task and you're really tired and you just turn into a lump on a log. And so the last couple of days I've been experiencing that, which is a new feeling for me, probably because we've been in the house almost a year, and then now it's being compounded with snow and ice. So you have to forgive me for my delay. And as a result, I have made some changes to all of your tests and going into the second learning module. Ideally, your learning module is due on the 21st at 11:59, but I've extended that due date to the 23rd at 12:30 in the morning. So make sure that you take time to go in there and do your quiz. If you're not satisfied with your quiz grade, it is now 2 attempts. Okay, so make sure you go in there and retake it. And of course, I'll take the highest score. Um, but I just wanted to get on here. Some of your quizzes, and I got some good questions. And that, like I said, this is my fault because of burnout. But I just really wanted to help you guys get familiar so you can do well, not only on these chapter quizzes, or these pop quizzes, but also if you decide to take the certification exam. Okay, you'll notice on your test that it's not basically here's the question, what's the response. It's more so if you know the content, then this is how I can respond. Okay. The best way to be able to be successful, especially with bioenergetics is crazy. It's insane. But it's a necessary evil because not only it allows you to know how to manipulate someone's diet, not you being a nutritionist, but it allows you to understand what is an ideal diet for your athlete in a training program, but also what is an ideal training program when it comes to resistance training and high interval intensity training for your athlete or for your student or whatever the case may be. Okay, so as I mentioned before, it's so important for you to get familiar with your terminology. All right, so in getting familiar with your terminology, it's so important to just take the time and break down all of the terms of this particular chapter. Okay, catabolism, anabolism, exergonic reactions, endogenic reactions, metabolism, especially the one term you need to know. We're going to scroll on up. Okay, ATP. Okay, adenosine triphosphate. All right, that basically is a molecule that basically is responsible for energy stores. Okay, and it's so important for you to know the basic energy systems that work to replenish ATP. Okay. Also, you have your three here: your phosphagen system, your glycolysis, and your oxidative system. Okay, know those three like the back of your hand because you will see this again. Okay, and it's so, and as much as we may have hated it, I know I did. Just go back and review your basic biology, the terms, as far as the electrons and ions and mitochondria, which I learned in biology years ago that's your cell's powerhouse. Okay, so and knowing what is required for anything to enter into the mitochondria. Okay, so like I said, get to know those terms. If you get to know those terms, understanding bioenergetics is a little easier. It is not a game, okay? So as I said, take some time to really just take every term and review every term and kind of familiar yourself with that. Also, it's very important to know what some of the byproduct or the waste product of every reaction is required. So basically, one of this, and I won't say it because it is a quiz question, one of these systems essentially basically is breaking down a carbohydrate into basically going into a whole energy store. So just be mindful of those things and just being mindful of what some of the byproducts are, what the product is. Okay, so very important thing for you to know. Another thing I want you to know is I want you to know the difference between anaerobic and aerobic. All right. Know that one process requires oxygen and one process does not. Okay. Those are the things to just be very mindful of. All right. So not only just in bioenergetics, but just in general. Okay. I'm pretty sure we all know the difference between the two, but this is essentially important. Okay. As going over the book, hopefully the book will let me be great. Okay, so if not, I have the standard. Oh, there we go. So on page, I'm trying to get to it. Okay, on page 49, it highlights whether lactic acid is one of those things that causes muscle cramps. Okay, definitely read this particular section in your book. Okay, read it in your book in Brightwave, and it'll tell you whether lactic acid is responsible for, oh man, it's causing, burning sensations. Oh, that's lactic acid buildup. Biggest myth ever, biggest lie out there, right? It's not what causes muscle cramps or burning sensations or whatever people call it nowadays. I don't experience those things. I don't want to feel burning. Well, I might feel burning, but other reasons why I want to feel burning. Well, I want burning because of growth. I don't want burning because, yeah. So those are just things that is important for you to review. All right. So now we're going to get to page 57. Let's see if it'll let me get there. Okay. Also, while you're familiarizing yourself with these terms, while I'm trying to get to this page, don't hesitate to do some of the chapter questions on your own as far as the back of the book. Like, get to know those terms that way, and just kind of familiarize yourself with that. All right. Now on page 57, all right, so it talks about, did I skip it? I think I did. Okay, it talks about limiting factors, all right? So, yep, limiting factors are important because those are the things you need to know in terms of developing a training program for your student athlete, in terms of training to really be mindful or manage fatigue better. So it's very important for you to get to know this chart on page 57, because as I said, if you don't see it now, you'll see it again. Now, you'll notice that on some of the quizzes or the test, sometimes a quiz will have a, what is this? And then you respond, but then sometimes a quiz might say, hey, it'll present a particular situation, and then it'll call for you to remember and recall something about a particular activity or a definition, and remember what that definition is, and then apply it to that particular case. So those are the things to just be very mindful of. Now, what I am willing to do is that I try not to lecture people to death, because I know I have a lot of you in a lot of my classes, and I don't want to bore you guys to death. But what I will do every other week, okay, is offer some time where we could talk about an array of different chapters, okay? So if that's the case, send me a message through the Remind app, and we'll go from there. We'll see what we can plan. So this could be an easy transition for you. Okay. Learning module 2 is up whenever you are ready, but I don't want you to rush through it. Okay. We are eventually going to finish this book. I promise. It is going to be overwhelming. All right. Now on page, I believe it is page 72. All right. If I could get to it fast enough, maybe not. I'm just going to click on it. All right, so on page 72, it talks about endocrine responses to resistance exercise or resistance training, okay? Really, I will admit to you this is a very tough chapter, okay? For me, this is probably the hardest chapter in the book for me to understand endocrine and hormonal responses to different things, okay? So I'm not going to make it difficult for you guys, because it is because I'm still forever a learner and still trying to translate all this myself. I'll make it very easy for you, so you could just remember what hormone does what, okay, and where it is. Please note this. Understand what hormone does what. Copy, paste it, screenshot it, not my face, but screenshot it, and do what you can to be able to catch this, okay? If you have any questions, let me know. I have, like I said in the beginning, I've extended the due date on section 1 overall through the 23rd. Okay. Please don't wait to tell me at a later time, Ms. Nesbitt. No, please get on this now. All right. I'll be by my laptop for a long time tonight to make up for burnout. So if you have any questions, let me know. Chat soon.